Zeal Education Society, redefining excellence.
Welcome back. In the previous lecture, we have seen the concept of controllability and observability, and also we have seen the Kalman test for the investigation of controllability and observability. In the Kalman test, we need to calculate the controllability matrix, observability matrix, and we have to check whether they are of full rank or not. There is another method, that is Gilbert test, which do not require any kind of calculations. But the condition is that for using Gilbert test, the system model must be in the diagonal or Jordan canonical form. So here we find one of the utility of diagonal or Jordan canonical form, that is to investigate the complete state controllability and complete state observability without doing any calculations. So let us start with it. Let us consider a state model consider a system with state model x dot is equal to ax plus bu and y is equal to cx. Now, if we transform this system into a diagonal or Jordan canonical form by say x bar dot is equal to a bar x bar plus b bar u and y is equal to c bar x bar, with in this particular case a bar is equal to P inverse AP, B bar is equal to P inverse B, and C bar is equal to CP, and where P is the modal matrix. So this particular model, this model is in state model in canonical form. And that can be written as, say, let us write down that model. Let us have, there will be two cases. One will be the system has distinct eigenvalues. So let us case now Gilbert test for system with distinct eigenvalues. So if the eigenvalues are distinct, then the state model will be of the form, say x dot is equal to, and now let us consider the generalized system. That system has nth order or n roots, x plus, also the system has r inputs. We will not keep our scope limited to single input single output system. We will consider a general system that it has r inputs. R can be 1 to get a single input single output system. So in that case, this will be B matrix will be B11 so on up to B1R, B21 so on up to B2R, B31 so on up to B3R, and this will be continued till Bn1 so on up to Bnr. So here in B matrix there are n rows and every row has r elements. and let us consider the output as y is equal to, let this has m outputs. So C matrix will be m by n, so this will be C11, C12, so on up to say C1n, C21, C22, so on up to C2n, and this will be continued till the last one, mth row, Cm2, so on up to Cmn x. So the model will be of this form. And now how to investigate the controllability? Let us see. So there is only one condition for the system to be completely state controllable. Here the condition is that none of the row in matrix B has all 0 elements. So every row should have at least one non-zero element, then the system is completely state controllable. That means here the system is completely state controllable if none of the row in matrix B, this is B, has all zeros. So every row in B shall have at least one non-zero element, then the system is completely state controllable. No need to perform any calculation. Just the condition is that your model must be in diagonal or Jordan canonical form. Now similarly, now let us see the condition for observability. So this also has a very simple condition. The system is completely state observable if none of the column in matrix C has all zeros. That means while checking for the observability, we have to check every column of matrix C, and every column should have at least one non-zero element. Then the system is completely state observable. Now let us take one example. And using Gilbert test we will do it. So let us consider a model x dot. We are tackling the case of distinct eigenvalues. So let us consider -1, 0, 0, 0, -2, 0, 0, 0, -4, x plus 1, 1, 1, u, and y is equal to 3, 1, 7, x. Okay. So the system is in diagonal canonical form. Yes, it's okay. Now let us check for the investigation of controllability. Corresponding to this eigenvalue, the row is this one. So for every row, now let us check every row. So every row has a non-zero element. This is a single input, single output system. That is why B has only one column and C has only one row. So all elements are non-zero. All elements are non-zero in C, B and C. So system is completely state controllable and state observable. Now let us consider another example. Example 2. And now let us take the system as x dot is equal to say minus 2 0 0 0 minus 3 0 0 0 minus 7 x plus 1 0 1 u and y is equal to 1 2 0 x. And now let us find out whether the system is completely state controllable or not. So in this case, if you look, the second row of B has all zero elements. That means system is not completely state controllable. And now if you look at, or I will write it, not completely state controllable. And also now you look at the matrix C, the third column has all zero elements. That means system is not completely state observable. Now I want to have some further conclusion that if it is not controllable, completely not controllable, then which state is not controllable? Either all states are non-controllable or few states are controllable and few states are non-controllable. So this is related to x1. The row in B matrix corresponding to x1 has non-zero elements. So x1 is controllable, x2 is not controllable, x3 is controllable. So here state x2 is not controllable. This also we can find which state is not controllable. And similarly here state x3 is not observable. Because x1 can be observed, x2 can be observed, but x3 cannot be observed as column corresponding to x3 has all zero elements. Correct? Now what we will do? We will move for the concept of controllability and observability using Gilbert test for the repeated eigenvalues. So Gilbert test for repeated eigenvalues. And then let us consider the system as nth order system, and it has lambda 1 2 times, lambda 2 2 times, and the remaining are not repeated, remaining are distinct. So the model can be say x dot, say lambda 1 is repeated, so 0, this will be 0, this will be lambda 1, and lambda 1 is repeated twice. It can be any times, it can be repeated any times, but let us consider the case of this 2 only, and then the remaining values are 0. Then next I will call as lambda 3 instead of lambda 2, lambda 3. This lambda 3 is also repeated twice. For example, and the remaining elements are distinct, so they will move in diagonal and we will reach up to lambda n. X plus, again I will reconsider the case of multiple input, multiple output. So let the system has R inputs, so B matrix will be of this form. And last will be Bn1 to Bnr U, and then let it has M outputs, so this will be C11, C12, C13, so on up to 31, 21, 31, M1, and first column, second column will be C12, C22, C23, 32, CM2, and C13, C14, so on up to C1N, C23, C24, so on up to C2N, C33, C34, so on up to C3N, CM3, CM4, so on up to CMN. X. And now there are some additional conditions for investigation of controllability. So let us do investigation of controllability. So the condition number 1 is there should not be multiple Jordan blocks corresponding to same eigenvalue. What does it imply? It implies that, see, here we have two Jordan blocks, one corresponding to lambda 1 and the other corresponding to lambda 3. Now if lambda 1 and lambda 3 are same, it indicates that there are two Jordan blocks corresponding to same eigenvalue, and then system is not controllable. The condition says that there should not be multiple Jordan blocks corresponding to same eigenvalue. Means there can be multiple Jordan blocks, but they shall be for different eigenvalues. Condition number 2 is, now for distinct roots, because in this case there are some roots are repeated and the remaining are distinct. So every row corresponding to distinct eigenvalue shall not have all zeros. For example, here we have lambda n which is distinct. That means a row corresponding to lambda n in B is the last row. So this last row must have at least one non-zero element. All elements shall not be zero. If all elements are zero, then system is not controllable. And then the third, last row corresponding to every Jordan block. But last row, every row where? Every row in B. So here last row in B corresponding to every Jordan block shall not have all zeros. What does it mean? It means that these three conditions says that for this particular case, the first condition says that lambda 1 shall not be equal to lambda 3. Yes, there can be two Jordan blocks, but they shall be for different eigenvalues. Means lambda 1 shall not be lambda 3. This is condition number 1. Condition number 2, every row in matrix B corresponding to distinct eigenvalue shall not have all zeros. Means let us consider here in this case we have this lambda n as a distinct value. Then corresponding to lambda n there is row, this one. This row shall not have all zeros. And third says that last row in B corresponding to every Jordan block. So here we have two Jordan blocks. So Jordan block number 1 is this one, and Jordan block number 2 also I have located. So last row corresponding to each Jordan block means this is the first Jordan block. The last row in B corresponding to this Jordan block is second one. This row shall not have all zeros. That means this row can have all zeros, but this row shall not have all zeros. And now corresponding to the second Jordan block, the last row corresponding to the second Jordan block is say 1, 2, 3, 4. Means 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one. So this particular row shall not have all zeros. If there are all zeros in the third row, yes, no issues. Only this row shall not have all zeros. Then the system is completely state controllable. And now let us see the investigation for observability. Number 1, this condition is same. So I will repeat it. There should not be multiple Jordan blocks corresponding to same eigenvalue. Then the second, this one. So this is for the distinct eigenvalues. So it will be same as the earlier case. So here every column in matrix C corresponding to distinct eigenvalues shall not have all zeros. What does it say? So here lambda n is the distinct eigenvalue. So it's in the nth column. So nth column in C. This one. This shall not have all zeros. If this column is not having all zeros, this particular case lambda is observable, or this particular case state is observable. And then the third one, first column in matrix C corresponding to every Jordan block shall not have all zeros. What does it mean? Now there are two Jordan blocks. This is the first Jordan block, this is the second Jordan block. So first column corresponding to this Jordan block is this one. So this column shall not have all zeros. They shall have at least one non-zero element. What about this column? Yes, it can have all zeros. No issues. Then the second Jordan block is this one. So its first column is the third column. So corresponding will be this one. So third column in matrix C is corresponding to first column of the Jordan block. Means this third column shall not have all zeros. Fourth column may have. It doesn't make any difference. So this is how we can investigate the controllability and observability for distinct roots. And in practice, this is the combined of all. It has distinct eigenvalues, it has Jordan blocks, it has multiple inputs, multiple outputs. This is a combined case, this is a general case. From this we can have different cases like all roots are distinct, it has only one input, it has only one output. Also we can say that it has some Jordan blocks, it has some distinct values, it has say some multiple inputs, some multiple outputs. So it is applicable to all. Let us see one example. So x dot is equal to -1 1 0 0 -1 0 0 0 -4 x plus 0 1 1 u and y is equal to 1 0 3 x. What about this? Controllable or not? Observable or not? Solution. See, this has one Jordan block and that is related to the eigenvalue lambda equal to -1. That means the first condition is satisfied. There are no multiple Jordan blocks related to this particular eigenvalue. So first condition is satisfied. Now second condition. In this there is a distinct eigenvalue lambda equal to -4 and the row corresponding to this in B has non-zero elements. That means second condition is also satisfied. And now about the third condition. So this is the Jordan block and now the last row corresponding to this Jordan block in matrix B is this one, second row, and it has all non-zero elements. So even though this is 0, it makes no difference. And hence the system is completely state controllable. And now let us check for the observability. So this condition is already satisfied. Second one, every column in C corresponding to distinct eigenvalue shall not have all zeros. So this is the distinct eigenvalue and corresponding column is the third column which has all non-zero elements. So this condition is also satisfied. And now the first column in C corresponding to Jordan block. So this is the Jordan block and the first column corresponding to Jordan block is this one. So this is also having all non-zero elements. Even though this is 0, it makes no difference and hence system is completely state observable. Let us solve some examples to consolidate the concept. So I will write here some examples. It is only a single input, single output. Sorry, inputs are 2 and outputs is only 1. Then second example, let us consider all cases. So last example now, fourth. So for the first one, this is having all distinct eigenvalues. So for controllability, row corresponding to -1 is 0, 1. So it is having at least one non-zero element, condition satisfied. Here corresponding to -4 also it is having at least one non-zero element, and for this one also. So system is controllable, completely state controllable, I will say, and as well as it is not observable. Why? Because column corresponding to -1 is non-zero, column corresponding to -4 is non-zero, but column corresponding to -5 is 0, and that means the state x3 is not observable. X3 is not observable, so it's done. Very simple. Now for this one, there are two Jordan blocks. one corresponding to eigenvalue minus 1, the other corresponding to eigenvalue minus 2. So these are two different eigenvalues, so condition 1 is satisfied. Now there is no distinct eigenvalue, so let us directly move to condition number 3. So last row corresponding to eigenvalue minus 1, corresponding to Jordan block for eigenvalue minus 1 is the second one, this one, and it is having 1 0, so it is valid. And now for this one, for the second Jordan block, the last row corresponding to the Jordan block is this one, so it is having all 0 elements, and that means system is not completely state controllable. And which state is non-controllable? The states corresponding to lambda equal to minus 2. And let us check for observability. There are two Jordan blocks, so first column corresponding to first Jordan block is this one, and first column corresponding to second Jordan block is this one, and all are non-zero, so completely state observable. Then let us consider this one. So here, this is the first Jordan block, this one is the second Jordan block, and the last one is distinct value, and we can call that this is a Jordan block. No issue, it is a distinct eigenvalue. So now they are the two different eigenvalues, so condition 1 is satisfied. This is the distinct eigenvalue. The column row corresponding to minus 5 is this one, it is non-zero, satisfied. This is the first Jordan block. The last row corresponding to this Jordan block in B is this second row, which is non-zero. So even though this is 0, no difference. And for this particular Jordan block, this is the last row. So all conditions are satisfied. So system is completely state controllable. Here also controllable means completely state controllable. If it is not completely state controllable, it has no meaning. Controllable means it has to be completely state controllable. And now for observability, for the distinct eigenvalue, this is the column, this is the fifth one, so the fifth one. Then the first column corresponding to this Jordan block is the third one, and first column corresponding to this eigenvalue is the first one, and hence system is completely state observable because these corresponding columns are non-zero. Now this is interesting example. If you look at this, if you go by, say this is the distinct eigenvalue, corresponding row is non-zero, this is the distinct eigenvalue, corresponding row is non-zero, this is the Jordan block, last row corresponding to this is non-zero, so you may say that system is completely state controllable, but the first condition is violated, that this is a Jordan block corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equal to minus 1, and the same eigenvalue is appearing again. So here what I can say, there are multiple Jordan blocks or multiple Jordan blocks for the same eigenvalue, and that means the system is not, or I will say neither, completely state controllable nor completely state observable, because if the first condition is violated, no point in checking the further steps or further conditions. Okay, so far now we have seen two methods to investigate the complete state controllability and complete state observability. Also here through Gilbert test we have seen the utility of the canonical forms. Kalman test can be utilized for any form of state model. There is no limitation, but you have to perform the calculations. On the contrary, Gilbert test does not require any kind of calculation, but the condition is that system must be in canonical form. Now I will make one more point, that why the controllable canonical form is called as controllable canonical form and observable canonical form is observable canonical form. That I will make some remark which is based on the two. In fact, we have not validated it, however we can validate it. The note is that a system is always state controllable if model is in controllable canonical form. This is a fact. So if the system is already in controllable canonical form, no need to investigate the controllability. It is always controllable. And even I will add to it that in the Kalman method, its controllability matrix will have determinant -1 always. And same way, a system is always state observable if model means state model is in observable canonical form. Now we will add to it, we will see one more condition, that conditions on the state model and transfer function. So relation between controllability, observability and transfer function. So let you have a transfer function g of s is equal to, say for example, s plus 1 upon s plus 1 into s plus 2. And if without any calculation, so here pole zero cancellation appears. So if you find out the state model, it will have two states because the order becomes 2. But you have done it without pole zero cancellations. So in this case, the basic condition of the state assignment is violated. This will not be the minimal realization. In the definition of state, we have said that minimum number of variables, and I said that it has importance. We will see it later on. But still, if you do so, then the model you will obtain is neither controllable nor observable. So I will add to it, if a system has common poles and zeros in the transfer function, and the state model is obtained without pole zero cancellation, then the system is neither controllable nor observable. But again, this has one exception. The exception is that if such transfer function, but if such transfer function is converted into controllable canonical form, the system is controllable. You can check it using Kalman test. Similarly, if it is represented in observable canonical form, then it is observable. Still it is not advisable. The advisable thing is that upon having the transfer function, first check for pole zero cancellation, do the pole zero cancellation, then whatever is the remaining transfer function, that is the actual transfer function of the system, and for that you have to find out the controllability and observability. Now we will move to another concept, and that is the principle of duality. What it says, let S1 be the state model given by x dot is equal to ax plus bu, y is equal to cx, and S2 be the state model given by, say, x bar dot. I will purposely write it as x bar because these two states are different. A transpose x bar plus C transpose U, and y is equal to B transpose x bar. Then S1 and S2 are the dual of each other. So let me make a point, and this clearly says that if you look at this very carefully, if this is in controllable canonical form, then this will be an observable canonical form. Means controllable canonical form and observable canonical form are dual of each other. But I will make another point. So let I have a system that I will example determine dual system of, say, x dot is equal to 1 minus 2 minus 3 2 x plus 1 3 u, and y is equal to 1 4 x. And you have to find out the dual system. So no doubt dual system will be, the dual system is x bar dot is equal to A transpose, so transpose of this. So it's 1 minus 2 minus 3 2 x bar plus B in this will be C transpose, so 1 4 u, and y is equal to 1 3 because it is transpose of this x bar, and these two systems are dual of each other. So if you want to find out dual system of this system, you will get this one. If you find out dual of this, you will get this one. Now, is there any relation between this dual system and controllability and observability? Let us see. in continuation with principle of duality, for controllability and observability. What I say, I will have the systems S1 and S2. Let S1 is x dot is equal to ax plus bu, y is equal to cx plus du, and S2 as x bar dot is equal to A transpose x plus C transpose u, y is equal to B transpose x. Then I have a comment that if a system is completely state controllable, then its dual system is completely state observable, and vice versa. Means if a system is completely state observable, its dual system will be completely state controllable. And let us see its proof. So we will follow it by Kalman test. I will make some statements. Say system S1 is completely state controllable if, as per Kalman test, rank of matrix, which matrix? B, AB, A square B, A raised to n minus 1 B is n. Then I will make another statement. System S2 is completely state controllable if rank of matrix, which matrix? This system. So A transpose, C transpose, A transpose C transpose, A transpose square C transpose, and so up to A transpose raised to n minus 1 C transpose is n. Let us make another statement that system S1 is completely state observable if rank of matrix C transpose, A transpose C transpose, A transpose square C transpose, A transpose raised to n minus 1 C transpose is n. And the last statement, system S2 is completely state observable if rank of matrix, which matrix? So this C here we have got C transpose, here B transpose transpose, so transpose of B transpose is B, transpose of A transpose into transpose of B transpose, so transpose of A transpose is A, B, A square B, so on up to A raised to n minus 1 B is n. And now look at the statements. So S1 is completely state controllable if the rank of this matrix is n, which is same as S2 is stately observable, completely state observable. And from 2 and 3 what I can say, if S2 is completely state controllable, that means S1 is completely state observable. These conditions are same, and this is how we have proved the statement, that if a system is completely state controllable, its dual system is completely state observable, and vice versa. So this is enough for today. We have seen completely the controllability, observability, their conditions for investigation, principle of duality. In the next class, we will see the transformation of any form to controllable canonical and to observable canonical.